Alright, so I'm going to record my first YouTube chess video lesson slash just fun video to learn about things. We're going to be talking about the fried liver attack, a dangerous and fun opening for white and for black too, I guess. A particular game we're going to look at today is Paul Morphy versus Alonzo Murphy. So something that happened in 1850. I'm not sure if these two guys are related, but Paul Morphy, we all know who he is. And you'll notice there's a missing rook down here in the bottom left corner. So Morphy is even giving his opponent rook odds. That makes the fried liver attack, it's going to be a fun game in this situation. So let's just go to the game. 1e4, 1e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. So these are the most common opening moves in chess, pretty much. These, maybe the Roy Lopez. But beginners and advanced players alike all play these moves. And that means this particular opening is one that you can use pretty often and still get a lot of fun results from it. So how do we get to the fried liver? Well, there are a number of moves black can make here, d6 or bishop c5 or something, but if knight f6, then white has this option to violate an opening principle, move his knight twice, knight g5, defend the pawn on e4, but more importantly, attack the f7 square twice with bishop and knight. The king is the only guy defending that, so black has to do something to either defend f7, which is impossible because otherwise the only thing he can defend with is the queen, and losing the queen to the two pieces is not an option. So black has to move d5 now. White captures, and if black recaptures with the knight, we can enter the fried liver attack. Black has a number of other options, though. Black can move knight a5, probably one of the most common openings for more advanced players. Move b5, knight d4, knight b4. There are a number of different options here, but the fun one that we're going to talk about here is when knight takes d5 and we're entering the fried liver attack. Okay, so where's the attack? Well, how about this? Knight takes f7, forking the queen and the rook. But not much of a fork, you might say, because now the knight is just lost to king takes f7. And, okay, yeah, white just lost a knight, but look at that king now. The king is out on the f7 square, the f7 pawn is missing, he has less defense for himself, and he's kind of coming out towards the center. And the next move will bring him even closer, so let's violate another opening principle, moving the queen early in the opening with queen f3 check. And now white is attacking the d5 knight twice, and black is defending it only once with the queen. So whatever move black makes here, he has to get his king out of check or block the check, but he's also got to defend this knight, or he's lost the knight he just had won earlier. Okay, so if he loses the knight, then he's even material, you might say, but I don't think that's a good idea after the king is totally exposed and in the middle, plus white did win that pawn earlier. Okay, so the king is going to run towards the middle, e6, the only move possible really for black at this point. How is white going to keep the pressure going? Are there any pieces left? White, what is he going to do now to continue the attack? Well, knight c3 puts another attacker on that d5 knight, and black has got to do something about that. Common moves here might be knight e7 or knight b4 to defend the knight, and then open up the c6 square to also defend the knight with the pawn c6. And that's probably the best option for black at this point. And you might notice already that black has to play very precisely in order to not lose. The king is in the center of the board. Yeah, he's up material, but this is looking very, very dangerous. So knight b4 may be one of the most common moves, the one I kind of like to use. And it threatens a fork of the king and the rook on c2, but, I mean, Morphy's already given the guy rook odds. That rook is already gone, so maybe that's not even that useful. Anyway, black erred here, I think, with knight d4 attacking the queen, and white takes advantage of this immediately. Bishop takes d5 check. King's got to move, runs away. Queen to f7, threatening some nasty stuff there in the back. Black tries to block this nasty stuff. White just takes. Knight takes. Okay, so white's losing even more material, maybe. But how about this? Knight e4 check. Now the king only has a couple moves, either to c6 or to d5 here. So this black move came down to d5, attacking this knight. And white decided to draw and lure the king even closer to the white camp with c4 check. So king just takes another free knight, but he's on the other half of the board now, and I don't think things are looking too bright for black. Let's see how it continues. Queen takes e6, so winning the knight back. Now black hopes to try to defend that king way over there, so let's bring the queen into the action here. And the game is forcing from here on out. It's a checkmate coming up. Can you see it? You might want to pause and look for it. Okay, so here we go. Queen g4 check. King only has one move. King d3. Queen e2 check. Only one move. King c2. d3 check. There are two moves, and black here is going to be greedy and take the bishop on c1. But it doesn't matter that there were two moves, it's losing anyway, and a fun castling into checkmate. So black loses, even though Morphy gave him rook odds with this wonderful attack, the fried liver attack. That's the game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my first YouTube video. Please give me comments and questions. Let me know if there's a better way to record these videos, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, I look forward to your feedback. I hope this is useful for you. Maybe I'll do some live blitz games, not because I'm a good player and want to teach you, but maybe because you can help me learn. Though you could always you can always learn from other people. So, yeah, thank you very much.